Welcome, everyone. My name's Mark, and I'm the co-creator. I'm not the co-creator. I'm the creator of TeachMePCB, and this year's co-facilitator of our macro keypad project. We're getting there. We've done a lot of the prep work, a lot of the reading. You guys have created your parts libraries. Now it's time to create your schematic. That means next week we get to route. It's exciting. I'm excited. You're excited. Who isn't excited? So I wanted to give you a little bit of a breakdown of what's changed over this past week, some of the things I've been working on, and give you a preview of what you guys will be doing. So, woohoo! There should be a link in the YouTube description that provides the StreamYard stream. I would have done a little more prep work, but I just got back into the house about 2 minutes ago. It's been crazy. All right. We've got everything on, and I am going to share a screen with you. Yes, share screen. Don't show me that again. All right, there's my friend Brian hanging out. Hey, Brian, how are you? Don't show me that again. Hey.
Okay.
That good.
Not ready for another week to start, but hold on.
Hanging out. Hey, Brian, how are you? Well, if you get a chance, my friend, please close your YouTube while you're on StreamYard. Okay. I can hear a little bit of an echo in the background there.
Echo. Hello.
The last time that happened, I did a round of row your boat all by myself, but the delay was much longer. All right.
There used to be a comedy thing. I was on the old, I can't remember the name of the comedy club that used to do that, have the thing on TV, on cable. But this gal said, it's hard to do the national anthem at a big ballpark because you get about 6 or 8 notes in, and then you start singing with yourself over the loudspeakers. So she starts singing, and you get the echo comes in, and she keeps acting like she's trying to adjust. But then by the end of it, it's a recorded fake, but she actually gets it. So she's singing in harmony with herself on the other line. It was wonderful.
How cool!
Echoes are great.
Oh, what did I just reveal? Show title. There we go. All right. So I've opened up now week 6, which is the schematic week. And you'll notice your view of things is going to look slightly different this week. So we've got communication announcements, which I'll still have to make this week's announcement. But there's one more thing I'm still working on. It's the only reason that these things aren't released just yet. We've added a GitHub repo, which is new. So we're going to start working on the firmware programming. And I might need your help with that, getting the GitHub organized if you have time this week, Brian.
I'm already on it. Do we have any firmware yet? Anything I can put in as a base to check something in?
I don't know. I know they were working on it today, but I really did just get back in the door right before I came online, so I haven't checked the Discord to see. We might, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah. So we've got that. I've moved the schematic into our first released version, which, did I open that up? No, I clicked on schematic because it was highlighted, but I didn't do anything useful with it. So the schematic is going to look a little bit different than what you saw with revision A and B. And that was because I did want to support people who wanted to have 25, a keyboard matrix, more than just 10 keys. And we have that now. So you're going to see when you download the schematic, and feel free to make comments, but there's actually 2 parts or 2 separate schematics in here now that I've designated variation A and variation B. You'll see it down here in the corner. Variation A is a 10-key schematic, and that's pretty much what we've... that shouldn't be Rev D. That should be Rev 1.00. Whoops, I'll have to fix that. Anyways, that's the revision that you guys probably know as revision B. And then we've also got variation B, which is a 25 key schematic. See, that's what the other one should look like. So I'll have to make that edit there in short order before people start commenting on it. But really what we've changed over both of them, what's going to look new to you folks is the fact that I put all of the switches into their own switch group, and I put all the LEDs into their own LED group. So our original block diagram is going to really resemble our hierarchical diagram at this point. And switching out from a 10 key to a 25 key is really as simple as switching out that switch group and that LED group. Everything else stays the same. So that's kind of cool. Have you had a chance to see that yet, Brian, or no?
No, I like you, I've only been on for a little while. I started poking at the GitHub, but that's all I've really looked at. I haven't seen the new stuff.
Okay, so take a look at that. If you see any other errors, really we're out of the letters at this point. We should be into numbered revisions. So I don't know how that stuck through. I just now noticed it, but both of these should be revision 1.0.0. Okay. And then if we see any minor revisions, they'll increment as like 1.0.1, 1.0.2, and we can just work from there.
Yeah, I will be taking a look at it in the morning because I'm one of those who is running a matrixed keyboard because I'm only using 12 keys, a 3x4 rectangle, but due to a couple of other things, I ran out of GPIOs.
Oh, okay.
So I had to save a few by matrixing instead. So, but it looks
all
okay.
Right. Yeah. So each one of these is going to be its own little diode and switch in line. No, see, that's wrong too. Okay, so I need to upload the right file. This is revision D. Okay, so there is a new revision here. I'll get that uploaded just as soon as we're done here. This is the wrong file. So it's a good thing we're going through this together. Otherwise, I would have had some complaints and questions. But that's a simple fix. I think it's just a matter of I uploaded an older file. I was having trouble combining these things. And yeah, I know what I did wrong. I can fix that. So anyhow, so that's one thing that's new. Another thing that's new in week 6, and let me go back to my view. I'd like you guys to fill out a testimonial for me. Just something that I can put in front of the advertisers, always looking to prove the worth of the course. And it's one of those things where you want to stay on top of it and stay top of mind so that they always know what they're getting for their value versus waiting for them to ask, right? You want to make sure that you have that ready for them. So testimonials is going to go down into week 6 as well. I'd like you to fill that out. And nah, I don't need it there. There we go. That'll be fine. And then the other thing that we need to do, although I think I might just go back to Typeform just because I could have this done already. I need to collect your addresses for those of you who would like me to ship you some parts. I've got parts for you. I need to get those out so that they're here before your boards are. So look for something. I might just do Typeform. Like I said, it's outside of Moodle, but it's super easy. I can collect all the information and you can let me know if you want parts and I'll try to get them to you. That's pretty much it for notifications. So what you guys are doing now is taking that schematic file that I promised to fix for you. Now that we've so cleverly figured out what was wrong with it, and you're going to go into your schematic program and you're going to capture your EDA file. You're going to go into your EDA program and capture your schematic file. So that's really going to be as simple as opening up the library for the thing for the project and going through and putting in C1, putting in C2, putting in the resistors, putting in the LEDs. What I recommend for that is to use Jesse's library. He has everything in there except for the USB, I believe. And if you're using different switches, if you're using other stuff, you might want to make modifications. Like you said, Brian, you're putting in a bunch of extra stuff.
I have an I2S audio driver. I have an accelerometer. I'm not putting on the light sensor, so that saved a pin. But it's basically going to be a handheld game for for my grandkids to play with. So more touchy-feely media kind of stuff is more important. I'm not doing that. It's not going to be as macro pads traditionally. I guess I could teach it to do that eventually when they need something like that someday down the road. But for now, it's going to be a thing that plug in a big battery and or plug it into the wall and poke buttons.
Okay, so then you'll want to definitely be extra careful with your library if you're using custom library parts. One of the nice things about using Jesse's, they might not be perfect, but he's used them to create a board. We know that they work, right? It's very easy to get a bad schematic in there, a bad component, a bad LAN pattern, screw up something. I mean, I screwed up my Pico. Now, in my defense, that was an absolutely atrocious CAD file that they gave us to work with. But it's completely possible. So
that's the one question that's come up on mine is the couple of the pads on the Pico don't look right to Jesse. So I've got I need to be taking a look at it and make sure.
Are those the USB D plus and D minus?
Yeah, the three, the D plus, D minus, and ground. He said they looked a little too far north was the comment that they did, and they do look different. I've got a couple different footprints, and they are slightly different. I will compare it with his and compare it with your old blog post with the measurements and see what the possibility is, because I used the one that's in the parts database in a couple weeks ago. Somebody had done one. And
so the parts database is done by students, and there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's just we didn't set up a review process, a formal review process for those. Just to give you an example, if you were to order your part libraries, and you can get them done for you through places like, it's escaping me right now. Jesse, chime in. Who makes part libraries for people?
Well, I found some of my parts on places like SnapEDA.
Octopart.
Octopart has one.
So Octopart has a team of electrical engineers. It's a small team. I forget if it's like 3 or 5 people, but before they release a part, it gets reviewed by at least 2 electrical engineers, practicing electrical engineers. We don't have that set up. We don't have anything set up. So we don't know that the parts in the parts database are good. We do know that Jesse's parts worked. So that's why I would recommend using the library checkpoint for your part library over what we've created internally. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll figure out how to replace it without
completely
screwing up my board.
Now, if you go back to also the previous week, in week 5, I want to say it was, or maybe 4, I've uploaded a diagram inside the course materials. Custom LAN pattern creation. You'll see the Pico LAN pattern, and this actually has some slight nudges from where the even where my initial article had some things were off. I don't think it's off by enough to actually cause a problem, but it's off a little bit numerically. But the other thing that you should do with these things, Brian, is I don't know if you can make out the outline on that screen or not, but see how I actually took an image of the Pico, mirrored it, and put it behind those pads to see if things in fact did line up.
It's a good idea.
So that's something that I didn't do when I ordered my my marketing example, the board, and it bit me in the butt hard. I can't have an external USB interface on my Pico, on my brain boards, because I screwed that up. And I knew I was skipping that step, but I was working really, really, really fast to get those things out and in so I could start marketing the course. And, Jesse and I even had this conversation. He's like, dude, you're skipping that. What if your board doesn't work? I'm like, it would suck, but it's totally okay. It really is okay. As long as I get something so we can start attracting people into this course, because I had no time on this round. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Any questions you might have, Brian, that you think other people might have?
Not as far as the schematic stuff. I think we've covered, at least in Discord, we have some coverage of how to do the hierarchical sheets so that we can keep things in groups and components grouped together like you did on yours. And there's lots of good tutorials on that as well out there. That several of us seem to hit the same tutorials. No, as far as schematics go, it's really straightforward. I think there's going to be a lot more questions and handholding in next week's stuff once we start doing layout, because
layout will be
by the seat of my pants. I got a lot of stuff done, and I tried to do what fit with what I've read so far in various places, but the that's good. It's going to be tough, especially for the matrix folks. You've got so many wires going in both directions, horizontally and vertically, that you have to do at least 2 layers and really keep on top of where your stuff's going, because it's mind-bending when you first look at it.
I always describe it as something to the effect of you're solving a maze that as you draw lines, you're creating new walls. Mm-hmm. It's really, it can be a little intense. But we've got office hours. So if you guys have questions, by all means, take me up on those. If we do decide that we need more time, we need more time. That's okay. But I would rather spend it on the week of layout than anywhere else, because that's the part where, that's the make or break point, Yep. Okay. Hearing no response, I assume you agree with me. What else should people know? We've got office hours Monday and Wednesday. Somebody keeps letting me know that they're here. Let me quiet that for a second. Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific, we're going to do office hours. So if you have questions about schematic layout, please join me then. Hopefully I'll be able to get another KiCad or KiCad user on. Maybe Elliot or Jesse can stop by some of those. So if you have any device specific questions, you can join me for that. And then what else do people need to know? I will probably be taking somebody's schematic, verifying it, and providing that as another checkpoint for next week in case you guys get stuck and you need a little help with that. And other than that, that's all I got. You need to capture your schematic. I need your address if you want me to send you parts. I would appreciate it if you filled out testimonials. And If you are interested in helping us out with the GitHub, I mean, that thing's like 6 hours old. So there's nothing there yet, but hopefully we'll start building that fast. And if I made a mistake combining Acrobat PDFs, I guarantee you that mistake's copied into the GitHub as well. I'll have to fix that. I was trying to do it as a binder, or no, not as a binder, as a portfolio, but then it didn't like the portfolio, so I had to go back. So I just grabbed the wrong files. I'll fix that pretty quick here.
And as far as the GitHub goes, anybody can make a fork.
Okay.
Make your own copy on your own account. Make changes. If you have changes you think need to be shared, send us a pull request. I will be looking at each and every one to see what we get contributions for, and we'll make it the best we can be.
All right. Well, thanks for coming out, man. I appreciate your time. You have anything else planned for the rest of the night?
Well, I was going to keep sitting here poking at GitHub, and then I've got a 3D printer issue that is really confounding me, so I'm going to play with that too.
All right. Well, I will get our files fixed now that I've identified a problem and get those uploaded. I'll get an announcement out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Thanks so much, Brian. Thanks, Jesse.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye. And in the broadcast.